I shared my budget here on the channel for the first time in a long time, and it was not the best budget because I was feeling very, very tight with our numbers. And I'll be honest, we're off track in a few areas for the month of May, but I am now creating my June budget and whew, much better. We have more income coming in the month of June, and I think it's going to be a much better situation. If you haven't watched my May budget yet, go back and watch that. I'll leave a link down below because I took that budget, copied it over, and then just edited it for this month. For the month of June, we have more money, so I changed a few categories, and then I also had a few areas where we're going to be spending less because, hey, summer is a little bit cheaper than the regular school year. So I'm very excited to share this with you guys. It feels a lot better, a lot more breathing room than last month. Let's look at the numbers. So this month in June, I anticipate us having $7,000 in income. This is about $750 more than last month, and that is going to make a huge difference for us. We had a little bit less income last month, but luckily we are going to be having a little bit more in the month of June. So we're going to be feeling really less stressed about things. Here's how I'm going to use that $7,000 for my family of 4, my husband, myself, and our 2 kids, 5 and 2. So we are going to pay ourselves first, which is basically put money in investments and things before we put it toward other things. Every single week I put money toward my Roth IRA, so I'm putting $400 in the budget for that. Then I am going to put another $200 toward our house fund, so basically $50 every single week toward the purchase of our new home. And then I'm also going to put $50 in a taxable brokerage investment account. And our 529 plans are $35 per month for our 2 kids. We are putting money every single month into a 529 plan, and we also have some family members that are matching that and putting money in as well. So those accounts are growing. That's a total of $685 toward investments and things for our future. So paying ourselves first before we use this money for anything else. Those will automatically come out. Those will be done. Those are the things that I will never cancel. So those are very important to me personally, I believe. And so that leaves us with a balance of $6,315 to budget for everything else. So let's look at our fixed expenses next, because those are things that we're gonna pay pretty much no matter what. It's things like our mortgage and our electric bill, things that we have to pay just to live. The first one is the big one, and that is our mortgage, and it is $1,357.40. That's right, our mortgage went down. So basically last year they had raised our mortgage to cover a shortfall, but now it's bouncing back down because there's no need for that. We had an overage this time because they went too far. So we're going back down to $1,357.40. They try to anticipate what it will cost the best they can, and I understand that, but I'm really, really glad that our mortgage is going to be about $100 less than it was. Last month, our mortgage was $1,461, and this month, our mortgage is $1,357.40. So like $100 less. That is exciting. I'm hoping we don't have another shortfall at the end of the year, but if it does, we'll adjust when that happens. For now, I'm going to enjoy that $100 that I don't have to pay every single month and put it toward other things. So that's the first area where we're spending less money. And then we have a utility bill for $250. We have an internet bill for $83.88, and then we have tuition. Here's another category where we're spending less. We have tuition for $848, and that is for summer camp for 2 kids part-time. They're going 3 days a week, and that is so I can work and do other things. And it's $848 for the month. So last month for tuition for preschool, we paid $1,449.18. So we have gone down dramatically in this category. So we're now at $848 for the summer. Feels really good. I'm very excited about that. So we're at $848 for the summer for childcare. And then I do have a therapy appointment scheduled, so that will be $145. We do have life insurance for myself and my husband, so that if anything happens to us, we can have that money to take care of our family. And we pay $110.81 for both policies for that. Then we do have gym memberships, and on both of our gym memberships combined, mine and my husband, is $240.98. Mine is the majority of that. Mine is like $229 because I go to a gym that has classes and they do some extra stuff as well, but they're like a boutique kind of gym, and that has actually been really good for me. I've been going every single week. It is something about the social aspect for me that makes me actually use it. And I'll be honest, I would much rather pay $200 a month for a gym that I actually go to than $20 a month for a gym that I never set foot in. So that's worked out really well for us. I really enjoy my gym membership. And then we have a security system, and our bill for that is $27.99. Then we have some subscriptions, and those are $22.99, all of them together. And then we have a category of medical, and that is medical bills. So, and prescriptions that I know will happen. So we have a couple prescriptions that are monthly, and we have some medical bills that we need to pay. Those roll in at random times. So I got one for $45 this past week, or maybe the week before, that needs to be paid in June. So therefore our medical budget has gone up. Last month, I think it was $50, and now it's $200. So something does always come along, and we did get a couple medical bills and expenses. So that is $200. And you know, it could go up if people are sick. We'll see. We're kind of running out of health FSA money, so that will come out of just probably our regular budget. But the total for all of our expenses in the fixed expenses category is a lot. It's $3,287.05. So that leaves us with a balance to budget of $3,027.95. Next, we're going to move on to our sinking funds. And sinking funds are basically just savings accounts where you're putting a little bit of money over time to pay for something that you know is coming up. So I have a video on sinking funds if you want to know more about it, but basically we just put money every single month for big bills that are coming, that we know are coming, or unexpected bills that we know could happen that eventually will, like a car repair or something like that. Sinking funds are my favorite thing ever. They help so much. So when you have like something come up, you have the money already. So we have a car expenses fund, and that is saving up for future cars and having car repairs. And like I needed a backup camera fix on my car. My backup camera stopped working and we had to get a new one. We had the money. It was great. So that needs to be put in still, but we did get to pay for it because we had the money set aside. So we have car expenses, we're putting $300 into that. Then we have house repairs, so basically things that go wrong around our house, things that need to be fixed, things like that, any sort of bill that comes up, $100 into that account. Then we have a yearly bills account, and this is things like our phones, because we use a prepaid phone service. We use Mint Mobile, so we pay it once a year. We don't pay a monthly phone bill. We pay like $240 per year for like my phone, and then $240 for my husband, I believe. So that's why we have a yearly bills account, and we have several other bills like that. That's just the one that people ask about a lot. They're like, why don't you have a phone bill in your fixed expenses? That's why, because it's a yearly bill and it's in this category. So we have $300 going into that. And then we have a travel fund, $200, and that's because we love to travel. We are going to Disney World this summer, and then we also want to go to the beach because my daughter is obsessed with the beach. So obsessed. Her little like pre-K thing said, I want to go to Disney World and the beach. I'm like, ooh, the beach sounds nice too. So we may go to the beach later this year, and $200 is going into that travel fund. And then I have another sinking fund that I'm not really going to talk about. So I am going to be honest about my budget, but I don't necessarily always want to share the details of what things are. And that's just for privacy and because people I know in real life watch my videos. So sometimes it'll be something for somebody or something like that, and it's like I'm not gonna ruin surprises just because I have to share a budget. So we have $75 going into this category. All of that combined is $975, so that leaves us with a balance of $2,052.95 to divvy up for our variable expenses, which is a lot. $2,000 is a good amount to like live off of for the month, and that's for food, gas, things like that. Things that like are flexible in our spending. And we do that kind of on a weekly basis because we get paid weekly. So that amount that we have for spending is kind of divvied up every single week, which I've really enjoyed doing weekly. So we have like $2,000 for that. And that is so much more than we had last month. Last month we had $1,200 at this point in our budget. And that honestly, it felt really tight and like not enough. So $2,000 is much more comfortable for us. So let's look at how we're doing that $2,000. So basically for our grocery, which is everything for the grocery store, food, dog food, paper products, toilet paper, things like that. So it's not all just food, but it's all household goods and all food. I just combine that just because it's easier because we do buy it all at the same store usually. So our grocery budget is $800. I don't split it out into grocery versus household stuff. Some people do, but I just find it easier to have like a big grocery category, and it's like anything that comes from a box store or Aldi or Sam's Club or Costco or wherever we're shopping for the week, Target even, like wherever we're buying those things, that is the category that it all goes from. Budgets can be as simple or as complicated as you want, and after a lot of like back and forth, this is what's worked for us. Having bigger categories makes more sense for us, and it's almost like match by store a little bit, so that's what works for us. And then we do have an eating out category, and we're putting $200 into that because I know we'll have a couple of times where we eat out with friends and family, and I want to make sure that we have money for our family to go do those things, so we aren't saying no because we don't need to. So $200 for that. And then for gas, I'm estimating $250. That's worked out pretty well. I drive some and my husband commutes every day for work, so $250 is needed. And then giving, we brought that back onto the list because last month I cut it. So now we have $100 for giving, gifts, donations, that category, anything that comes out of that. And then personal, we have bumped up. Last month we cut this way down and it was kind of a bummer. So we have brought back personal, and it's $600, and that is split between us. So $600 on personal, split between me and my husband. And then I have another category that's one I'm not gonna mention, but is $100 for that. So all of that total is $2,050. $2,050, whew. Cutting it close. Usually I like to have a little bit of a buffer, and it's usually like $20-ish, but today it's $295. So this is real close to like zero-based budget, probably as close as I can. And I think it's gonna be like really good, perfect. I mean, something could come along and ruin this budget, but this feels like really good and really doable. I am so thrilled, you guys, to have less expenses on the fixed expense side. Like having our mortgage drop, amazing. Having our childcare expenses drop, amazing. Having more income while those are happening, amazing. So last month I was super stressing, and this month I'm like, oh, we got this. It's easy, no problem. So honestly, like making more money isn't everything in life, but having more money definitely helps. It really does. It just does. So that's why I am always trying to work on my income usually, and why I have my second channel, which is all about ways to make more money and different tutorials and things on like different income streams. So I'm definitely going to keep pursuing that and trying to increase my income. My husband's doing an amazing job at work and doing that with his job as well. And I think that we're on a really great path for having a very secure financial foundation for our family and having much less stressful months because we have more than enough money to budget and cover everything we want. If you want to see kind of what like my weekly spending looks like, I did just do a what I spent in a week video. Definitely check that out. It's very interesting. It was my son's birthday, so I filmed a little vlog of what I spent in the week. Go check that out now if you want to see how I spend my money.